Hey folks, Jared here, and this is my first impressions of the new Sony Xperia Z2. So, let me begin by saying this device is nothing like the Z1. Well, I mean, it looks pretty damn similar and has many of the same features and functions, but it truly is a new phone experience. First off, it's got a nice big 5.2-inch 1080p tri-luminous display with a DPI of 424. And yes, it's significantly lower than the HTC One M8, but not that far off from the Samsung Galaxy S5. Either way, it looks awesome. Could be because of that tri-luminous display, I don't know. I'm no Erica Griffin, so when I look at a display and it looks good, that's good enough for me. One thing about the display that I noticed right away is the viewing angles. It's noticeably better than the Z1 and friggin' light years better than the ZL I reviewed a while ago. And so, like the HTC M8, the Z2 has dual front-facing speakers as well. They sound better than most devices for sure, but it's sure as hell no HTC One M8. And the build quality of this thing's amazing. It's truly a high-quality, premium-feeling Sony product. Might be because we've got glass on both the front and back. But either way, it feels extremely solid feeling, but just like on the Z1, the power and volume buttons are just too damn close together for me. I mean, to be fair, it's a much better placement than on the HTC One in my opinion. Now, I don't care what you say, but HTC putting the power button on the top was a silly and very inconvenient idea. For me. But I haven't used this device long enough to get used to them being so close, but something tells me I will, and probably fast. So the Z2 is IP55/58 dust and water resistant, so basically it'll withstand 1.5 meters of water for about 30 minutes. Really not all that different than the Samsung Galaxy S5. And as you can see, we have all these bloody flaps all over the phone. Well, there really isn't that many, there's just two, but you know what I mean. But hey, you can buy the magnetic charging cable or dock and never have to open up the flaps ever again if you don't want to. So I've actually always liked Sony phone software. It just seems clean and cool looking to me. I mean, that's purely user preference, but I like it. Now, I love the settings menu. I would have preferred if it was a blacked out menu, kind of like how Samsung does it, but it's not like I live in the settings menu. And as I went through it, I noticed that it actually had some pretty badass custom settings feature, like a buttload of really attractive themes, the ability to pick which status bar icons show, and which apps can send notifications, just to name a few. And even though the dual front-facing speakers don't come close to the HTC M8, it does have a bunch of audio quality options that I tested out in the car on my way home from picking it up. And wow, I'm impressed. Once you've got it set up to send music to something other than the built-in speakers, like with an auxiliary cable or even Bluetooth, I think you'll be impressed. I mean, we're talking HTC boom sound quality. Dare I say, maybe even a little better? Again, not the speakers, the audio output. I just wanted to be clear on that. Oh yeah, and this thing has some crazy power saving options, just like HTC and Samsung have done, but Sony's called theirs stamina mode. And by the way, the Z2 has a huge 3200 milliamp hour battery, so I'm expecting good things. And I suppose I should briefly touch base on the camera. So it's a 20.7 megapixel camera, and it's got a bunch of fancy stuff packed in that could potentially make this one of the better cameras to be packed into an Android device. And it works really well and takes pictures that impress the hell out of me. That is until while testing it out and snapping about 10 pictures, a message popped up telling me the camera was running too hot and that it had to close the app. I was like, what? But as soon as it shut down, I immediately launched the camera app again and it fired right up, but the back where the camera sits was really hot. This is apparently an issue that Sony and other markets around the world are aware of, and all I can say is that I hope Sony can fix this issue with a simple system update. Other than that, the camera software is really simplistic and easy to use. Sony's made it really easy to get some amazing pictures with little to no effort. Basically, you'll be spending most of your time in the modes section, which is cleanly laid out, and I can see it being pretty damn convenient. But I do want to say this, so far with my limited tests, I'm not very impressed with the bokeh effect, or as Sony likes to call it, background to focus. And it chopped the head off my little Android guy. That's not acceptable. Poor little guy. He just wanted a good picture to show his friends. And don't even get me started on the ridiculous AR effects option. I didn't know Fisher-Price had a hand in designing the camera app. Who knew? So anyways, the Z2 packs a Snapdragon 801 with 3 gigabytes of RAM. That's great. It's impressive. Should be a stupid fast phone, right? Well, so far, it sorta is and sorta isn't. Well, just like on the Samsung Galaxy S5, I found myself enabling developer options and turning all the animations down to 0.5. And multitasking so far has been slightly less desirable when comparing to the HTC One M8, but flying through the device's settings and launching apps seems good so far. But when I tried to uninstall an app and then quickly jump back to any other screen, it lagged and hung on the install screen. It felt like it was saying to me, dude, what do you want me to do? So basically at this point in time, I'm skeptically optimistic about the new Sony Xperia Z2. It looks great, it feels great, and so far performs okay, though I'm still waiting for those 3 GB of RAM to kick in. Anyways guys, that's it for this one, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Cheers. This video is sponsored by UnlockThatPhone.com. Unlock any phone, any carrier, worldwide. Visit UnlockThatPhone.com for more information.